We're here at a cross race with Paul Curley. He just did really well in his race. So I'll let Paul talk a little bit about his background and his years in racing and all that. All right, Paul.
Well, I heard today that down here they call me the Godfather of Cyclocross, and I think that stems from back in my earlier days. I spent 4 years racing cyclocross in Switzerland because I knew as an American that the only way I would get better at the sport would be if I went to where it was a little more popular. And in those days, Switzerland was really the Belgium of today. You know,
Yeah.
Switzerland is where they had 14 huge international races. They would pay me between $300 and $500 just to start the race. It was really a high level of racing. And like I was telling my friend, after 1 year of racing in Switzerland, I was able to come back here and win the elite national championships. So I was the elite national cyclocross champion in 1985, and basically have been doing cross ever since then. Since then, I've won 24 other national titles, mostly in cyclocross, but also I've been the Criterium Masters champion, the Road National champion. I've never won a track championship, but I did get to the Paralympic Games, which is about the highest level of cycling that I've ever got to. And that was piloting a blind athlete on a tandem.
Yeah.
That was for the '92 Barcelona Games, which was, you know, fantastic to be at a Olympic venue and be at the Olympic Village. I mean, I had the feeling that I was at the Olympics. Of course, I know back in those days it was still a big step between Paralympics and Olympic Games.
Yeah.
But fortunately now for the physically disabled, the Paralympic Games have really come a long way. That's a huge event. That was a huge event this past summer in London, and I'm really, impressed and feel, partially in a very small way responsible for making the physically disabled athletes.
So what's the connection between what you do for disabled and this?
My first job was for World Team Sports in 1995, and basically when I retired from professional cycling, they asked me if I would take a group of disabled athletes around the world. So in 1995, I spent 264 days taking a group of 11 disabled athletes around the world on bicycles. And, that was a fantastic opportunity and also a very good learning experience for me, working with people with disabilities. And since then, I've maintained that relationship with organizations like World Team Sports, with Special Olympics International, with Best Buddies, and I help them with all of their cycling events.
Cool.
So there's still a tie-in between, my life and cycling, which is why I'm able to continue racing.
Right.
Because my 9-to-5 job often involves riding my bike for several hours.
That's amazing.
So I never get really out of shape. Sometimes I get a little run down. It's easy to overdo it.
Yeah.
And so I'm not always at my racing best.
Yeah.
But cycling is it's a sport for life, and it's something I'll always do. People say, why do you keep doing it? I mean, it's a healthy lifestyle. It keeps me off any kind of medication. I see a lot of people in their mid-50s, and they're on all kinds of, this medication and that medication. And, I think cycling is a good medicine. It's, it's a great physical exercise, and it's not a pounding exercise like running or people like that. I mean, I was at breakfast this morning at the Hampton Inn, and a guy comes in all dressed up in his running outfit like he's, very proud of going out for a run in the morning, but he's limping around. He's hobbling around. I mean, how physically healthy is that, to run yourself into the ground where you can't even walk correctly?
Yeah.
So that's, a big reason why I like cycling, and, I've always done cycling, and I'll continue to do it. It's great to get down here to New York to do some cyclocross.
Because you're from Boston?
I'm from just south of Boston. I do most of my racing now in New England, and it's great to see cycling has gotten to such a high level in other parts of the country.
Cool.
And when I first started doing cyclocross, we used to come down to New York and New Jersey because there wasn't enough in New England. But the schedule now in New England is very full, and I won't say thanks to Sandy, because I know Sandy was a devastating storm, but because this event got postponed, I was able to come down and get in another race. So I'm very happy to be here and very thankful to the sponsors and to Miles for putting on this outstanding event.
Cool, thanks.
You're welcome.